Did you know that 3,477 is the number of people killed by distracted driving in 2015, and that 660,000 is the estimated number of drivers using electronic devices while driving during the day? These statistics are taken from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, and I don't know about you, but these statistics are frightening. For some people of the age to drive, including myself, these statistics seem terrifying enough to stop distracted driving completely, but every day people still choose to put technology first. I had a high school classmate who was tragically killed in an accident due to distracted driving. This accident, although it occurred 5 years ago, still has an impact on my life as well as the lives of his family at home and his high school classmates. Distracted driving is an ongoing issue that must be confronted and stopped. Today, we will examine the extreme problems brought about by distracted driving, discuss the effects it has on the driver, and propose some solutions to help drivers stay safe on the road. Before I talk about the problems associated with distracted driving, I want to play a short clip that demonstrates how fast an accident can happen if you are not paying attention to the road. According to an article written by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, distracted driving is any activity that could divert a person's attention away from the primary task of driving. Distracted driving, in almost all cases, involves electronics. How many times have you driven behind or have passed a driver who is on their cell phone? I definitely have, and it is very frustrating. You have somewhere to be soon, but the driver in front of you is taking his or her time because he or she is distracted by their phone. It happens more than you think. According to a national distracted driving telephone survey, 48% of drivers say they answer their cell phones at least some of the time. Another problem is that although you may not be texting and driving, you still may be involved in an accident that was caused by the other person being distracted. You may think you are safe 1 second, but before you know it, your life could change due to a random stranger being distracted. One of the biggest problems is that we are not being punished enough for texting and driving. According to an article written by William Morrow in the Huffington Post, only 1 in 13 drivers are pulled over for texting. These numbers give young drivers confidence that they are not doing anything wrong and will continue to risk their lives. Don't be one of these drivers. Now that we have examined the problems with distracted driving, let's discuss the effects it has on the driver. Distracted driving takes the driver's eyes, hands, and mind off the road, which harms the driver as well as bystanders. I know some people think they are cheating the system by learning to text without looking at their phone, but that's still not a good idea. You're still harming yourself and those around you. Texting and driving takes your eyes off the road. According to NHTSA, texting for 5 seconds while going 55 miles per hour is like driving the length of a football field with your eyes closed. If you think about it, it is very possible to veer off the road without even knowing. When you are distracted, your hands also come off the wheel. There are many ways in which we could take our hands off the wheel, such as doing makeup while driving, reaching for something on the floorboard, or texting. The third way we are impacted by driving while distracted is that it takes our mind off the task of driving. We are so caught up in our technology that we fail to focus on what is important, arriving home safely or wherever we are headed. After discussing the effects that distracted driving has on drivers, we can now propose some solutions to help drivers stay safe on the streets. In order to focus on the road, we must have self-control by eliminating our technology. When was the last time you got in trouble for not responding to a text right away? Chances are the text is not very important. It can wait. So the first thing we can do to stop these accidents is to turn off our phones and put them away. This is the best way to keep our eyes on the road. A second way drivers can be safer is to use voice commands. As the Farmers Insurance website says, hands-free texting and talking is still pretty distracting. Bluetooth or voice control is a big step toward road safety, but it is still not eliminating technology completely. So be sure you know the right time to use it. If we practice self-control, use voice commands sparingly, and learn more about the risks and consequences of reckless driving, we could drastically reduce accidents everywhere. Distracted driving is very dangerous for the driver as well as bystanders. Distracted driving is a problem experienced every day. Chances are you are guilty of texting and driving. Today, I ask you to be proactive and to put down your cell phone while driving. Also, if others are in the car, you might also ask them if they can control your electronics for you. You are doing a favor to yourself, people sharing the road with you, your friends, and your family.